looking specifically at UAB, how do you feel like you guys kind of match up with them? What are you working on specifically to get ready for them this week?
Yeah, I think both teams have a lot of new players, just the way it goes. So I think they have like one starter returning. Wide receiver wise, the Milner kid who's a very good kid, Kitten, of course, the quarterbacks. We know quarterback skill positions. Offensive linemen, there's a lot of new players, turnover, stuff like that. Defensive coordinators and stuff has changed. So for us, I think and I'm sure Dilfer kind of has the same thing, is you're more worried about your team. So I think the biggest thing for us is just to stay focused and locked in on what we're doing. I think from a personnel standpoint, we got a pretty good feel for who the personnel guys are. You can look at the schools they were at from before, but just having a wholesale of exactly what the scheme is going to be from their defensive side of the ball, and that'll be something that we'll have to see. We have a good idea, but I think it'll be one of those games where early on both coaches will be really looking at what's the game plan going into it so we can move forward.
Is there anything, I know you said teams worrying about, what they can control, but is there any added element to playing the FBS team during the season in 2025?
Yeah, I think absolutely. We have a lot of kids on this team who feel like that they can play at the FBS level, that they can play at the National Football League level. So from that standpoint, you want to have a great game. You want to go out there and not be competitive but win the game. Sort of like we played UCLA a couple of years ago. We want to go out there and compete. So yeah, we have some kids who are from Birmingham, probably didn't get recruited by UAB. So you have a lot of incentives. But to me, I think the biggest incentive as a coach is to win the game. So that's where I kind of put the attention to. All of the sidebar stuff's are cute afterwards, but the biggest thing is to win the game. So that's our focus, to go up there and win one football game.
Kind of going off of that question, do you kind of feel like this is a good litmus test for you, first game of the season, going out against an opponent like UAB?
Yeah, great test. I mean, we're going to familiar territory. We haven't played in Protective Stadium, but we've played in Birmingham, of course, every year, sometimes twice a year. So I think for the fan base, it'd be really good. And whenever you can play on the road to open up a season, you find a lot about your team's character. So those are things that we want to play, find out who can we trust in a stressful situation. As I always tell my young guys, we recruited you, we got to know you, got to know your parents, got to know your coach. We see you in practice. So obviously we trust you enough in practice to put you in the game, but now you got to earn that trust in the game. So we have a lot of question marks, like most teams will, going into the first game. We know the guys we can count on, but we're looking for some other guys who are going to step up and make plays in crucial situations, execute, don't panic, stay under control. So all the things that we talk about, showing up with a great attitude, great effort, playing hard, taking advantage of the opportunity. So we're looking forward to see where we are as a team, and it'll be some things that we got to come back on Friday and improve on. So we want to find those things out early in the season.
Every team's different. So what would you say is the ceiling for in 2025, and what's the feeling of this 2025 team?
I think the ceiling is to get to the Celebration Bowl and win, which scales back to winning the SWAC, which scales back to winning the East, which scales back to winning the first game, which scales back to winning tomorrow. So we want to win today. So as that, we have those goals, and we feel like that's the ceiling, but we know our goal is always to win today. If we can come out and have a great day on Monday, have a great day on Tuesday, it gives us a chance to go out there and perform well on Thursday night. And that's how we focus it. We take the small bites of the apple one at a time. And if you have that approach, I think you're always going to be right where you want to be.
Is there a certain roadmap to get into, the SWAC title or winning the East? Is there some certain games you highlighted or anything like that?
Yeah, the first one. Obviously, you could say just from a SWAC picture, I'll be on a SWAC media call just in another hour or so. They have those same questions. Our first game is against FAMU, so it's obviously that's where it starts for us. And if that first game was against Pine Bluff, it'll be the first SWAC game. So I think this is the first game of the season, so you want to emphasize that. But once you get to SWAC play, then it's a whole new season. Now it's the first SWAC game. So I think for us, going down to FAMU for the first SWAC game, obviously that's where we start. And that's where we want to start from a SWAC standpoint. But from a season standpoint of going out there and competing and winning the game that you're playing today, we're 100% focused on this game, and the SWAC will take care of itself. Right now we have a great opportunity to play a UAB team that's trying to get things moving in the right direction, brought in a lot of new players, a couple new coaches, some that we know, and so it'll be a fun game just from a familiarity standpoint. And I think we have players who play with a lot of those guys in high school and stuff like that. So it'll be a good matchup and a fun evening.
I was late. I imagine I've been asked already.
Yeah, no problem.
Quarterback situation, thoughts on starters or dual quarterbacks, just at least for starters?
Yeah, so Andrew Body, he'll be the guy that's going to go out there and take the first snap. So we're expecting him to go out there and execute. And he's been working at this for a while. Had some frustration of having injuries the last 2 years. So I know he's excited. And I think the biggest thing for him is just let the game come to him. He'll be able to make great plays when they come. My guys know consistently good equals great. So if he goes out there every play, just trying to do his job, and he'll have an opportunity to make a great play, and he'll make it when he gets that chance.
And what's the level of the emotions for the team just going into an actual first game, just getting started again,
Yeah,
first day of school?
Yeah, it's a build-up. I mean, you want to, you put on your new jeans and your brand new shoes and you iron your shirt and all that type of stuff. So yeah, it's all that excitement of it. We practice in the stadium on Friday and Saturday just to get that walkthrough of that part of it. But that's what kind of got me into the mindset. Like, man, it's football time. Once you actually get it, we practice here all the time. When you go to a stadium, then it's like, okay, it's empty, but you still realize. And I guess I'll probably feel that emotion even more on Wednesday when we practice at Protective. So that'll be even a bigger deal to let you know, like, hey, man, tomorrow morning is that's what you practice for. We only get 12 guaranteed games. The other 2 we have to earn, as far as the SWAC championship game and the Celebration Bowl. So for us, like I tell the kids, football probably more than any other sport. You spend so much time working out and practicing, and you only get to play 12 games. So every game is just a great opportunity. You want to go out there and do your best, of course, come away with a win, but you want to take advantage of the opportunity.
Relatively healthy. Any major injuries going into?
Yeah, knock on wood, we've been really good this preseason. We haven't had any major injuries, other than guys that were banged up in the spring. We have a couple of hamstrings and stuff like this, but everybody's turning the corner at the right time. So we think we did a pretty good job of getting the tough physical practices, but then scaling back at the right time, but still knowing that the kids can tackle and make blocks and get off blocks and who can make people miss. So going into it pretty healthy, and that's a good thing. And so we're excited. I mean, I know I probably don't sound super excited now, but trust me, on the inside, it's a lot going on. I'm looking forward to Thursday night.
Dr. Cable talks about strategic dominance and strength through training. How does that trickle down to your program and what you guys may be doing this year?
Yeah, so it's strength is in the routine, and that's something that he's been preaching, something that I've been kind of living by in my life. You have to have a routine. Talking to one of my wide receivers, Ajah, today, he was like, I'm always trying to beat him here in the morning, but he gets there like 4:15, 4:30. So but it's a competition. He kills me, but most of the time, I every once in a while I can get him. But he was just saying like, hey, right now I'm waking up before my alarm clock. That means that your routine is so set that you're so focused on what you're doing. And that's what I tell the kids, you gotta, even if you're having success at the routine, that's because the routine is working. So don't stop the routine, continue with the routine. So we're really focused on that. The guys know that you have to get into, hey, what's your person? Like, I can tell you what works for me as a coach. I go to my mental part of it, how I get myself ready to play. But we're really encouraging every kid to figure out what does it take to get you ready to play. Like, what's your weekly routine, your daily routine, the night before the game routine? So playing in the NFL, it took me a couple years to get a really good routine. And so I'm trying to instill that in the guys that have a good routine for football success, and a good routine for life. Like, how do you get ready for class? How do you get ready to dominate in everything you do? And so Dr. Cable said, great leadership on his part of just kind of putting that into the program, and I think that's how you dominate. It doesn't happen by accident. You got to be intentional about what you're doing every day.
We got
How you guys led the SWAC in defense last year. How are you guys going to stay consistent in 2025? And how have you shouldered kind of taking on a leadership role?
Okay, so basically we know the standard is the standard, and we preach the ball of the program. So we create turnovers, get off the field on third downs, do the little things right, and we know the sky's the limit. So we aiming for number one in the nation this year, not just in the SWAC, number one in the nation. So we have big goals, and we plan on making that happen. And leader-wise, it's a big role, but it got to be done. So I got to step up, beat up for my brothers. They depend on me, just like I'm depending on them. So I got to take that role and make it happen.
Andrew, you're back this season. How does it feel getting ready to go out there for game one?
it's just a blessing, honestly. God just was being real patient with me, so all I did was trust his process and trust his timing. So now it's time to put the show on display.
Andrew, do you guys have such a great defense? Does the offense somehow build off of that?
I'll say we just make each other better every day. So it's just iron sharpening iron. So when we're going against a defense like the Black Swarm, all we're doing is going against literally the best defense every day in practice. So when we go out there in the game, it's like butter.
Are you guys excited to finally, line up against, another team besides having to hit each other every day?
Yes.
Most definitely. Most
Can't
definitely.
wait.
What would you say people could expect from Alabama State this year in 2025?
I'll just say one word: domination.
I'll say brotherhood. You'll see a lot of togetherness. We're gonna celebrate together. We're gonna have each other back about everything. So somebody make a play, you're gonna see somebody cheering them up. You're gonna see, oh, I got his back, he fall, we pick him up. There's gonna be a lot of good stuff going on.
Andrew, did you learn anything about yourself last year going through that injury and kind of nursing your way back to health this year?
I'll say it was more so stuff like off the field. When you're taken away from something that you love, it's like you got to look at it like, what am I supposed to learn? Because a lot of people could look at it like, man, I'm hurt. Like I could have went down the drain for real, but it was like I had to look at like opportunity. So just trying to see what I could learn, and really I kind of grew more so in my spiritual journey.
Coach said a lot about young players kind of stepping up. Is there someone that comes to your guys' mind that you guys are excited to see throughout the season?
Yes, I have a young safety, man. I praise him so much, man, because like I can see the sky's the limit with him. He takes the coaching, he takes the you get on him, yes sir, let's do it. So that's Amari Hall, man. He played fast. He don't even play like a freshman, to be honest. Like he a nice kid. Y'all gonna see him a lot this year.
I say the whole offense as a whole, but somebody young that's kind of sticking out to me right now is Nehemiah Hickson. He's a young guy, and I feel like he always has a chip on his shoulder because people are trying to say that he's small and stuff like that, and he uses that to his advantage.